Lahore Qalandars with their 4th win in this HBL PSL. Finishing it off, Haris Rauf was the pick of the bowlers, bowling in short, the kind of length that you'd be hoping to bowl in these conditions, and then a safe catch in the end to seal it for Lahore Qalandars. Qalandars have now won 4 games and they will be a happy camp tonight because they were pretty good with the bat, with the ball, as well as in the field as well. Overall, the fans have got something to celebrate, and why not? They've been magnificent today against Islamabad United. Lahore Qalandars then, they made 209 for 6 in their 20 overs. Remember, they lost the toss and they were sent into bat by Islamabad United. Fakhar Zaman at the top, scoring that all-important 44, really setting the tone for them, what he always does. And then Sikandar Raza, how good has he been in this entire HBL PSL for Lahore Qalandars, making that 39 of 17 with a brilliant partnership with Billings. In response, Islamabad United falling way short of the total, thanks to some great bowling by Haris Rauf, got those 4 wickets, and Shaheen Afridi also chipping in one wicket, as well as Sikandar Raza with 3 wickets to his name. Qalandars winning by a huge margin of 88 runs. Well, we spoke about how this win can put them at that number 2 spot. Lahore Qalandars are now right behind Islamabad United, who are sitting at the top with 10 points. But Qalandars have won 4 of the 7 games that they have played. The top 4 teams will be qualifying for the playoffs. Hello and welcome to Pitchside. Now, a great win for Lahore Qalandars. Like we said, they've won 4 out of the 7 games that they've played. And today, they were absolutely magnificent in all aspects of the game. And to talk more about it, I've got a very, very special guest here with me on Pitchside. Of course, the legend, Waqar Yunus. Because we're talking about fast bowlers, then from one fast bowler to another, Shaheen Afridi, who's also the captain of Lahore Qalandars, joins us on Pitchside. Shaheen, thank you so much for joining. सबसे पहले तो बहुत-बहुत आपको मुबारक हो. बड़ी important जीत थी because 3 जीते थे, 3 हारे थे. Home ground है. So जो गेम की प्रेपरेशन थी coming into this one, वो बताएं कि क्या आपकी तरफ से क्या मैसेज था टीम को?
बिल्कुल अनबीटन टीम थी इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड की. मुसलसल ये अच्छी क्रिकेट खेलते आ रहे थे. हमने कल मैच भी देखा था तो हमारे जहन में था कि यार पिच से काफ़ी बाउंस मिल रहे हैं, लेकिन क्रेडिट जाता है बैट्समैनों को, जैसे उन्होंने मुश्किल टाइम गुजारा, क्योंकि लाहौर में इस दफ़ा शुरू के जो 6 ओवर होते हैं उसमें ज़्यादा विकेटें गिर रही हैं. तो मेरे ख्याल से उन्होंने जैसे हमारे बैट्समैनों ने ऊपर से खेला है, वो जो मुश्किल टाइम था उसको खेल के फिर सिकंदर रज़ा और सेम बिलिंग ने जैसे क्रिकेट खेली, तो क्रेडिट उनका जाता है.
अच्छा, आपने जिस तरह कहा कि शुरू के पावर प्ले में विकेट्स काफ़ी ज़्यादा गिर रही हैं, आई मीन यही चीज़ ऑब्ज़र्व की गई है ओवरऑल कि जी एज अ बैट्समैन अपने बैटर्स को यही मैसेज था कि थोड़ा सा टाइम स्पेंड करें और विकेट्स ना लूज़ करें, या क्या मैसेज था उनको?
मेरे ख्याल से मैं, क्योंकि बैटिंग मुझे आती नहीं है, बॉलिंग मुझे आती नहीं है.
बैटिंग तो आती है, खैर
नहीं बैटिंग आप तो ऑलराउंडर हैं. आप तो अपने आप को बैटिंग ऑलराउंडर के बॉलिंग ऑलराउंडर कहते हैं.
वो सिर्फ शोगल मेला के लिए होता है. बैटिंग बॉलिंग मुझे आती नहीं है. जो मैं टीम से एज अ प्लेयर डिमांड करता हूँ कि यार, क्योंकि हम एक ही टीम है और फील्डिंग अगर हम अच्छी करेंगे तो हम क्रिकेट में अच्छा करेंगे. तो मेरे ख्याल से उससे मैचेस भी आप जीतते हैं जब आप फील्डिंग अच्छी करते हैं. तो मेरा सिंपल ही मैसेज होता है, दे प्ले इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट अलॉट, सो उनको पता है कि क्या सिचुएशन से कैसे निकलना है. मेरे ख्याल से फ़ख्र की वजह से जो ऊपर है फ़ख्र है, फिर उसके बाद जो हमारे दूसरे तीसरे चौथे नंबर पे ये सब अपनी अपनी मुल्क से टॉप मिडल ऑर्डर बैट्समैन है. तो आई थिंक ये लोग काफ़ी अच्छा खेल रहे हैं और क्रेडिट उनको जाना चाहिए.
शाहीन, टीम जो है ना, अब ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे जेल भी अच्छा हो रही है और कॉम्बिनेशन भी आपको अच्छा लग रहा है कि टीम डेवलप हो रही है. एक सवाल तो ये है कि जी मोहम्मद नईम, आई नो ऊपर के टॉप पे आप लोगों को उतना स्टार्ट अच्छा नहीं मिल रहा था, जिसकी वजह से भी प्रॉब्लम हुई. आज वो भी अच्छा खेला, उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताओ कि वो क्या है.
नईम पहले मेरे साथ अंडर 19 से खेलता हुआ आ रहा है. काफ़ी अच्छा टैलेंट है. लेकिन जाहिर सी बात है बड़ा स्टेज है, इजी किसी के लिए नहीं होता कि यहाँ पे इतने आराम से आप इंटरनेशनल बॉलर्स को मारें। उसने जो 5 साल पीडीपी में रह के जो लाहौर कलंदर का टैलेंट हंट प्रोग्राम है उसमें 5 साल रहा है, उस पर इन्वेस्ट हुआ है, उसने क्रिकेट अच्छी खेली है, ये नहीं कि वो सिर्फ वो रहा है और उसको लेके आए, उसने वहाँ पे रन्स किए हैं। तो उस वजह से है जो हमारा PSL से पहले कैंप भी था उसमें भी उसने काफ़ी अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस की है, उसने काफ़ी रन्स किए हैं। लेकिन जाहिर सी बात है एक बच्चे को अगर आप ज़्यादा मौका देते हैं तो वो परफॉर्मेंस करेगा। तो हम सिर्फ ये है कि उसको हम मोटिवेट कर सकते हैं। बाकी जाहिर सी बात है इजी नहीं होता किसी भी प्लेयर के लिए, यंगस्टर के लिए कि आके ऐसी सिचुएशन पे रन्स करना, बट उसमें रन्स नज़र आ रहे हैं कि यार वो बच्चा रन्स करेगा।
शाहीन, कप्तानी तो आप अच्छी कर ही रहे हो, बहुत अच्छी कप्तानी की है, लेकिन मैंने जो नोटिस की है ना चीज़, आप लोग जब कम रन करते हो ना, आज तो खैर रन्स बहुत ज़्यादा थे तो आप लोग बहुत आराम से जीत गए, जब आप कम रन्स करते हो तो ऐसा लगता है कि जैसे बॉलिंग में थोड़ी सी ना फ्रस्ट्रेशन आती है, फिर आप ओवर ट्राई करने जाते हो, विकेट्स लेना। आई नो लाहौर कलंदर ऐसी टीम है जो हमेशा विकेटों के पीछे जाती है, लेकिन आज थोड़ा सा मुख्तलिफ दिखा। शायद वो रन्स ज़्यादा थे आप लोगों के बैंक में, इसलिए क्योंकि मैंने वो शाहीन से वो पहली बॉल का यॉर्कर है वो नहीं देखा इस दफ़ा।
नहीं, आपने सही कहा, जब रन्स कम होते हैं जाहिर सी बात है फास्ट बॉलर और रेज़ा बॉलर तो आप कोशिश करते हैं कि आपको 2-3 विकेट अर्ली ऑन मिल जाए। लेकिन जब हमने ये रन्स किए, जाहिर सी बात इजी विकेट नहीं थी, तो हमने पहले यही बात की कि यार प्लेयर जो बैट्समैन को क्रेडिट जाना चाहिए, उन्होंने हमें इतना बड़ा टोटल दिया, बट हमारे जहन में फिर भी यही था कि 130-140 हम जहन में रख के बॉलिंग करें और अगर अच्छी लेंथ पे हिट करेंगे तो हमें फ़ायदा मिले।
आज हारिस रऊफ़ ने बड़ी उम्दा बॉलिंग की, बड़ी तेज़ भी बॉलिंग की और लाइन और लेंथ भी बहुत ही ख़ास थी।
बिल्कुल, मैं तो
बड़े फ़ैन हो लगता है उसके।
दिल से खुशी हुई क्योंकि जाहिर सी बात है एक आपका दोस्त, एक टीममेट, क्योंकि ही इज़ द बेस्ट वाइट बॉल बॉलर फॉर पाकिस्तान और वो इतना स्ट्रगल नहीं कर सकता 2-3 मैचों में, और आज उसने जो बॉलिंग की है मुझे दिल से खुशी हुई। और मैं तो खैर उसके 5 विकेटों के लिए वेट कर रहा था कि 5 आउट करे, बट इस टीम गेम और ये था कि उसने मेहनत बहुत की है, ये नहीं उसने यहाँ पे बॉलिंग बहुत अच्छी की है और वो नेट्स में भी अपनी फुल एफर्ट कर रहा था कि मैं किसी तरह टीम में चिप इन हूँ।
देखिए, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जैसे हारिस हम कई दफ़ा उसको क्रिटिसाइज़ करते हैं कि वो ज़्यादा रन्स देता है, लेकिन वो इनकी टीम में इसलिए अच्छा फिट इन होता है कि मुश्किल ओवर करता है, और हम उस चीज़ को रियलाइज़ सम टाइम नहीं करते कि ये कौन से ओवर किस नंबर के ओवर कर रहा है। बैट्समैन सेट हो जाते हैं तब उसको बॉल दिया जाता है, तो आई फील कि उसको एक 10-15 रन का एक एक्स्ट्रा मार्जिन हमेशा मिलना चाहिए, क्योंकि जब वो एक तो ये है कि उसको मुश्किल ओवर करने पड़ रहे हैं, फिर वो विकेट लेने जाता है, और आपको जब टीम को विकेट्स की ज़रूरत होती है तो फिर ऑफ कोर्स आप ऐसे बॉल करते हो जहाँ पे रन्स होने के भी चांसेस। और आज उसने प्रूव किया कि जो राइट लेंथ थी इस पिच के लिए वो की और उसको उसका रिवॉर्ड मिला।
ये बड़ा अच्छा पॉइंट वकार भाई का वाकई है, बिकॉज एक्सपेक्टेशन होती है कि विकेट्स लें, लेकिन साथ साथ लाइक यू सेड जिस फेज़ में वो बॉलिंग कराते हैं उसमें शायद रन्स भी होते हैं लेकिन साथ विकेट्स भी उनको हासिल होती हैं। बट बिकॉज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट हारिस रऊफ एंड हिज मैग्निफिसेंट स्पेल टुडे, ही आल्सो फीचर्स इन आवर रिफ्रेशिंग मोमेंट्स ऑफ द डे टुडे।
He bowled really quickly today, and that was a quick delivery और इस बॉल की तो क्या ही बात है। हो सकता है थोड़ा टांग पे ज़रूर थी, लेकिन स्पीड इतनी थी कि होल्डर के पास टाइम ही नहीं था।
एक और चीज़ जो नज़र आ रही है शाहीन अबाउट लाहौर कलंदर्स, ऑफ कोर्स हमने देखा है सिकंदर रज़ा की परफॉर्मेंस थ्रू आउट दी HBL PSL, बॉलिंग में भी उन्होंने कंट्रीब्यूट किया है, बैटिंग में भी किया है, तो बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट मेंबर है ऑफ लाहौर कलंदर्स।
बिल्कुल, मैं उसका दिल से शुक्रिया इसलिए अदा करूँगा क्योंकि वो PSL के कैंप के लिए पहले ही आया और जो हमारे यंगस्टर थे उनके साथ रह के उन्होंने काम किया। उनको ज़ाहिर अगर आपको कोई फॉरेनर प्लेयर इतनी जल्दी आता है तो आपको खुशी भी होती है, क्योंकि
वो मुझे नहीं लगता वो PSL के लिए आया था, मुझे लगता है वो घर आया था और घर आके आप लोगों के लिए फिर उसने कहा प्रैक्टिस भी हो जाएगी तो सपोर्ट भी हो जाएगी।
उसका घर लाहौर कलंदर है, सिकंदर रज़ा का, और उसके लिए ऑलवेज़ वेलकम। हम सारी फैमिली है और उसकी जो परफॉर्मेंस है वो तो अलग बात है, वो उसकी अपनी चीज़ है परफॉर्मेंस, बट ही इज़ द नंबर 1 ऑलराउंडर इन द वर्ल्ड और खुशी होती है दिल से कि वो परफॉर्मेंस करता है।
डेविड वीसे का बताओ, वो आई मीन इस साल उसको गालिबन शायद एक ही मैच खेला है, लेकिन उसके बाद टोटल बेंच पे।
मैं ये बात करूँगा क्योंकि पहला मैच जब हम वहाँ पे खेले थे पिंडी में, सो डेविड वीज़ा को कुछ रन्स भी पड़े थे, लेकिन ऑनेस्ट प्लेयर ऐसा होना चाहिए कि वो खुद आके बोल रहा था कि यार मैं फ़िट नहीं हो रहा हूँ अभी, तो मुझे थोड़ा सा रेस्ट चाहिए कि मैं अपने आप को ना फिट करके बॉलिंग करके टीम में आऊँ। तो आई थिंक उसको हर चीज़ का क्रेडिट मिलना चाहिए क्योंकि उस 6-7 साल से हमारे साथ है, उसको पता है कि कौन कैसे खेलता है, और उसकी वजह से फिर एक और प्लेयर को अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली। अगर वो ऑनेस्ट नहीं होता तो वो कहता कि नहीं मैं अगले मैच में करूँगा लेकिन उसने ये शो कर दिया कि यार मैं अभी फ़िट नहीं हूँ तो मैं इस टीम में फ़िट नहीं होता हूँ, तो उसने खुद से एक जेस्चर शो किया।
तो आइंदा आने वाले मैचों में हम उन्हें देखेंगे।
मैं तो चाह रहा हूँ कि मैं खुद बैठ के उसको मौका दूँ लेकिन 4 ही अनफॉर्चुनेटली खेलते हैं, और जब भी उसको मौका मिलेगा ही नो हाउ टू परफॉर्म।
चलो जाते जाते ये बता दें एनी एरियाज ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट दैट यू फील कि यार इस एरिया में लाहौर कलंदर्स को और मज़ीद इम्प्रूवमेंट की ज़रूरत है गोइंग फॉरवर्ड।
ज़ाहिर सी बात है, क्रिकेट में तो आपको हर रोज़ सीखने की चीज़ें मिलती है और आप इम्प्रूव करने के लिए जाते हैं। मेरे ख्याल से बहुत चीज़ें हैं अभी बैटिंग में, बॉलिंग में हमें राइट एरिया पे बॉल करना चाहिए, और जो बैटिंग में भी है कौन से बॉलर को किस टाइम कैश करना चाहिए, जो वो बैट्समैन का अपना प्लान होता है, और ऑफ कोर्स उस पर वो लोग बात भी करेंगे, और मेरी तरफ से जो हेल्प होगा मैं टीम को दूँगा।
Challenge. Thank you so much, Shaheen, for your time and all the best for the remaining games. That was Shaheen Afridi for you, captain of Lahore Qalandars.
Well done.
Obviously, all smiles, and why not? Because he's got a reason to celebrate. They've done really well today, and there's plenty more for you on the other side. So don't go anywhere. Back on pitch side, just discussing the win of Lahore Qalandars. We've now been joined by Mike Hazeman on pitch side, but the smile is actually on Waqar Yunus's face because there was this little prediction game that we happened.
No, Zainab, talk to
before.
me first. Don't let him talk. Don't let him talk.
No, I want to talk to you.
What do you want to say? Quickly.
No, I want to
very quick. Very quick.
No, very good. What do you mean?
That's enough. That's enough. Yes, Zainab.
So, did you go for Lahore Qalandars? Oh, sorry, it was
I
Islamabad
can't
United.
remember.
Islamabad United.
Maybe.
Anyway, like now that we've moved on from the prediction game,
Okay.
we're looking for reasons as to why your prediction did not come correct. I mean, why do you think Islamabad United lost today? Very simply.
Well, I think quite simply, I think that the 96 runs in the last 6 overs was sensational. I think every part of Lahore's game was outstanding. I really do. I think they played really superbly, and I think that all the guys chipped in and did a fine job. For me, the icing on the cake, the whole thing, was Haris Rauf. I think the way that he bowled briskly, picked up 4 wickets. I thought he did a terrific job, and I think up until now we haven't seen him at his best. And for him to come out at this stage now and play so well, I think was really important and really good. So I think he was perhaps the one piece of the jigsaw puzzle which was expected to be shining, which wasn't sort of lighting up this stage, but it will from now on, because that'll really help him enormously.
Absolutely.
I was also very impressed by Asif Afridi, when with the left arm spin on a pitch where there wasn't much of a help, and he really bowled nice, and although he got hit for 6 and then he still bowled a cheap over of 8 runs and went for 4 and bowled an over of 6 runs. So I think those small things makes big difference for other bowlers to sort of really get the lead.
From an Islamabad United perspective, of course, you can't look for an excuse, but there was a gap of 1 week before they've gone on to play in different conditions to what we've seen in Pindi and Karachi. Do you think that perhaps had something in terms of, they had a lot of momentum going behind them, and then there was a bit of a gap?
It's not an excuse they should use. I don't think it should be an excuse, actually, because it's, they're professionals. I mean, they know they've got some very good players in that lineup, and they know what to expect, and they know they're going to be up against a very good side today, full of seriously gifted players, and they needed to come out and play much better than they did today. So I think I would think that they probably won't fall back on that. I wouldn't have thought. If they do, I'd be disappointed, because you've got to front up all the time in these sort of competitions. That's what's so good about the PSL. It's high quality stuff, and you come up against some really good teams and really good individuals.
The only surprising thing for me was Munro not playing. I couldn't understand why he didn't play that game, because after 7 days break, leaving him out of the team that was just hard to digest.
And he's been the glue. The other guys have been the aggressors. He's been the glue in that. And he's been getting 40s. The other guys have been getting big scores along the other end. But he's been holding things together nicely and been part of very important partnerships. So I'm with you there for once. It's some surprise, I must say.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of partnerships, there was one between, of course, we saw Sam Billings in the end. He was really sort of going berserk, hitting it to all sides of the park. And we're talking about the Super Sixes of the day, and it features Sam Billings.
Although it was a difficult pitch to bat on, but Sam Billings was really gone berserk as he walks onto the field. He enjoyed every length, on the onside, on the offside, switch hits. He was just on song tonight, and his inning really made a big difference.
What a partnership it was that we saw towards the end. I mean, Sikandar Raza, he's been an integral part of Lahore Qalandars, and then you have Sam Billings, just what they needed at that time to go over 200.
Yeah, 64 and 22 balls. I mean, it was seriously good stuff. And the one thing about it also, I mean, Sam Billings got 38 in 17 and Sikandar Raza got 39 in 17. They're matching each other. But the one thing I like about them so much is they're so different the way they play. They score runs in different ways. And I think Sam Billings he's such a unique player. I mean, I always like seeing him play. And he missed out in the last game. That would have been hurting him quite a lot. So I wasn't that surprised that he came out and fired today. But he played absolutely superbly. And then Sikandar Raza just is continuing his terrific run of form. He's been dominant. And I'm really impressed the way that from ball one he's been hitting sixes, and that won the previous game in my book and went a long way to winning this game as well today.
You know, they're saying that he's peaking at the latter stage of his career. That's what we've seen from Sikandar Raza. He's really good with the ball as well, but he managed to smash a few boundaries around for today. So time to have a look at the boundaries of the day.
Yeah, if you just have a look at the areas these guys score their runs, they're so different. Sikandar Raza going downtown, he's strong always over the offside in particular. Extra cover area also is handy for him. Likes to go straight over the bowler's head. He doesn't mind, of course, going that way either. And he's a small stature as well, but he packs a real big punch. So this is really good hitting. And as I said, it's from ball one pretty much today, the way that Sikandar Raza got after bowling. And I thought that was just really good to see. Very impressive stuff. Sam Billings, you could just see him there at the non-striker's end, backing up a long, long way as he was looking to play that shot.
Well, in the post-match interview, Shadab Khan, he spoke about the fact that they missed out opportunities in the field because their fielding was rather sloppy. Very sort of uncharacteristic of Islamabad United as a side, Waqar.
Look, Hazy just mentioned about the 7-day break, and that shouldn't be an excuse. But I feel that played a bit part. When you're playing so well in rhythm and winning games, and suddenly you get a big break, and then you drop Munro, and these things can happen. I mean, to collect them again and get them together again, it's going to take a bit of time, because the other teams now, they be sitting thinking, okay, they're beatable. So I mean, they got to watch out and see what balance they play with and start winning again. Don't just be complacent thinking they won 5 games and they're up at the top and qualified.
What about their bowling? We've spoken about their fielding, but obviously you were sort of having a closer look at the kind of lengths that they were bowling. Were you happy with it overall, or do you think they missed out? They missed out overall on where they should be bowling in these conditions?
Look, if the conditions are like this in the coming games and they're playing, they need a genuine pace, which I thought was missing. They've got good bowlers like Jason Holder, and the other, they are medium pacers. You need a serious pace. I mean, Naseem Shah bowled well to begin with. But he wasn't really the Naseem Shah we know. He did not pick up wickets up front. So I think they need to sort of see if they have someone sitting on the bench who can bowl 145. I think on these pitches we've seen Shaheen, Haris, all of them who bowls quickly. They are a handful.
And I think also Jason Holder had a bad day, but I also think he was targeted. I think they realised that he was going to be a key player, so they decided to go after him, and it didn't work out. And he went for 2 overs of 17 and it was downhill from then. He couldn't get back into the game. Where I thought he would, he didn't.
Well, let's find out if you had a bad day today.
Right,
with
well,
the
let me just move.
Hold on. Wait.
We've
Just
my time's up now.
No,
No,
it's not
time's up.
yet. Yeah, we want to see something.
We just want to just remind you of how confident you were with that, with the expert predictions there.
That's the one. For me, I'll go Lahore Qalandars. I know Islamabad United won all five of their games, but I have a feeling that Lahore Qalandars got what it takes to really trouble this batting lineup.
All right, your thoughts then?
Well, he's totally wrong. Totally wrong. It's Islamabad. Simple. I mean, they're on a roll. Yeah, they haven't played for a while. Doesn't matter, Waka. They'll play so well tonight. They've got class
I'll
players.
sort you out later on.
I think there's a bit of element of bias here as well. You know,
Maybe,
homie.
yeah.
No, I was with Multan. I always backed Multan.
I
Where
really
is he
did
gone?
try and cover for Hazy by saying
Come on,
that there's
Hazy.
a
Come on, get up,
element
get
of
up,
bias
get up. I
there
know.
because we're talking about Lahore.
There's
but I
no
think
place
he's
to
gone
hide
hiding.
now. There's no place to hide. Please come up.
Come on, Hazy.
We'll
come on.
forgive you. We'll forgive you. Don't worry.
It's all right. You win some, you lose some. You know that's just how it works. But I love the confidence with which he told you, Waqar, that
I know.
you are wrong.
That was really surprising. He says, he's wrong. I said, okay, fair enough.
Taken aback.
Well,
But for the last 10 minutes after that, he was having a go at me up there. What were you saying to me? I was feeling hurt about that. I thought he was tougher than that.
oh well, it's
It's all
all
fun.
in good humor.
Yep,
so
it's all fun.
that's pretty much part of being on pit side. But thank you so much, gentlemen, for your thoughts. But we're not going anywhere. We're just going to take a short break and be back with much more. So see you guys on the other side. Back on pit side, and what a magnificent win for Lahore Qalandars. Obviously got loads of reasons to celebrate tonight. They've won 4 out of the 7 that they've played so far in the HBL PSL 10, and I've now been joined by Arooj Mumtaz and Martin Guptill, the 2 golf partners on pit side. Welcome to both of you. I hear that you've been smashing it off this field on a different course altogether, so well done on that.
Thank you.
and well done to Sikandar Raza as well, because we were talking about him, Arooj, right before this break, that he's been such an integral member of Lahore Qalandars, and not just with the bat, with the ball as well. Overall, a great utility cricketer to have in your side.
A utility cricketer who's got the experience, who knows how to win key moments in the game, and he's been in this situation so many times, plays so much of franchise cricket together, and he comes in where the going gets tough towards the back end. I told you at the halfway mark, he packs a punch for a guy who's not that big, and he can manipulate the field with the bowling, with the he hides that ball, he bowls quicker through the air, and with his variations, and he's gun fielder as well. So for any captain, and time and again he comes to the rescue for Lahore Qalandars. I mean, it looks a bit of a demolition job tonight, but those runs put them in this very strong position.
Gabi, you've played a lot of cricket against him as well. I mean, what do you think makes him stand out as a cricketer?
Well, just everything that's been said. I mean, he's done really well for them over not just this season, but the last 2 or 3 seasons. So he's been so consistent, and it hasn't just been for the Qalandars. It's been for Zimbabwe. It's been for, you know, in the ILT20. It's been all different leagues across the world. So, you know, he's become one of the probably leading all-rounders in the T20 game in the world. And, you know, for the Qalandars, they're lucky that he's in form for them, because he's doing a great job.
Well, the leading all-rounder put a leading display today as well with the bat and with the ball. He's also our player of the match.
Yeah, came in and stitched a very good partnership with Sam Billings. 3 4s, 3 6s, 39 of 17. And you look at it, he bats deep in his crease. Yes, he was looking to hit the ball square. When they bowled it into the surface with the slow ones, he had to generate all the pace of the bat. Did that well in the slot. Well, you know, he can hit it. And I think that was exactly what was required. Just before he came out, they got themselves in a bit of a rut. Well, I thought this was a really good moment, a really good wicket. Salman Ali Agha was just holding things together for Islamabad United. The rest of the wickets easier, but I thought that was a huge moment in the game.
Well, even with his batting, Guppy, you're talking about his bowling and how efficient he was. But with his batting as well, I mean, are those the areas that you're looking at as a batter when playing out here in these conditions, that what we saw from Sikandar?
Yeah, he does set up really deep to be able to counter that ball that lands on the crease line. When you're able to do that, you're able to get much better bat on the ball, and where you normally stand on the crease, you can't get that good a ball on it. And then when they bowl into the wicket, he's in a position that he's given himself enough time to react, be still, and still hit the ball with a lot of power, but not only to one area of the field, but all over the place, which makes it really hard for the bowling team to contain him.
What about Islamabad United, Rouge, in terms of their batting? I mean, we've spoken about how they missed their mark in the field, and also dropped some catches. But with the batting, I mean, why didn't we see those partnerships? I mean, where do you think they went wrong?
I think they've been at the guilty end of an implosion. Not the first time we've seen this from Islamabad United. Time and again, ask Shadab at the toss that with the nature of the surface, change the approach or change that flair that you bring. He did say we're going to assess the surface, but I don't think they really did. Yes, pin it down to some very good quality bowling from the Lahore Qalandars, but I think Islamabad United have this tendency to just bang or bust at times. In the larger scheme of things, if they had to take a hit, it's probably good that they've taken it midway through the tournament, but they've still got 5 wins. They still sit pretty at the top of the table. But with that batting, I think Salman Ali Agha, in a bigger chase, more often than not, will have to hold that one key end. With all that class and touch, he's really improved on his power game as well, and he's a good manipulator of the field, plays those angles, and they've got power written all around. But it was a bit of a self-destruct job as well, and I just feel sometimes you just got to sit back and maybe just try and hang in for longer. The problem was they were chasing 209, so they didn't have any time to hang in.
And you were talking about them facing some quality bowling as well. That's what we saw from Lahore Qalandars today. Time to have a look at how Islamabad lost their wickets.
It all started from the top, didn't it? They just couldn't quite get going with that opening partnership, and then this was, as Ruji said, it was a massive moment in the game. Salman Ali Agha was getting going here. Azam Khan, not quite at his belligerent best tonight. And then Haider Ali here just chipping one down the ground, but a great catch from Tom Curran on the boundary. Really got them back into the game with that one. Harris Ralph coming on and getting the set batsman Andreas House, and then Imad Wazim flat batting one to Shaheen at mid-off. It was about here that the game was well and truly gone. Ben Dwarshis pulling one straight to deep mid-wicket. Sikandar Raza extremely happy with that one, and then coming in again. It's an easy catch down the ground. And those constant wickets through the middle of the innings really set the team up for the Qalandars. And the last one here, just an uppercut straight to third man, and that was it.
Well, they made over 200 runs, Lahore Qalandars, but it was set up really nicely at the top by Fakhar Zaman. And Arooj, we've spoken about this often. Then when he clicks and when he scores runs for Lahore Qalandars, they end up winning. I mean, that's the kind of impact he has on the game.
I mean, he's probably the best impact player, not just HBL PSL, but even from Pakistan point of view. Remember, they dropped him at 4. And they put him down, Hunain Shah put him down, and he made them count. The other thing Lahore Qalandars have struggled with is that opening batting partnership. This was their first 50 stand in the tournament come 6 games. So Naeem getting some runs, which probably allowed Fakhar to settle. And once he gets a few in his arc, and he really clobbers them. So the other thing that Fakhar's probably worked on is an offside game. So he doesn't really try to sort of hit the ball hard through the offside. Sometimes he'll play it with the pace. But when you bowl that in his arc with the swing, his sort of flick off his legs, very strong, good for him to get runs. But again, had he not got that life, it could be a very different story.
Guppy, you as an opening batter, you know how life can be rather difficult out there, especially in conditions where the ball is doing a bit much. I mean, in terms of Fakhar, everybody talks about him, but we're just talking about his impact. How impactful do you think he's been over the years, or from whatever you've observed in the HBL PSL?
He's been huge for the Lahore Qalandars over the years, and he'll continue to be huge. I mean, he's such an impactful player. He's a talisman for their side, and if he gets off to a good start and continues past the 10 over mark, they're on for a big score each and every time. So he'll just need to just push a little bit longer with his innings coming up if the Qalandars want to go all the way in this tournament.
That's actually true because we haven't really seen maybe a few, just like a big 100 so far. I mean, we saw that one from Rizwan right at the start, but not many hundreds, Ruj, big hundreds in this HBL PSL.
Well, we'll probably need to go back to Pindi then. Wait for those flat tracks to come in, and even you'd get a few there, Zainab. But the ball doesn't do much, pings off the bat. Let's be honest, Karachi's surfaces have been challenging. Lahore's been very challenging. But the good part is, especially this one that played today and yesterday, was a good even contest between bat and ball. It wasn't that the bowlers sort of fell through the batters. It was a good contest with nip and pace off the surface. So that contest has been nice. So if you want the hundreds, we probably need to go to the flatter roads in Pindi.
All right, then on that note, it's time to take another break, Ruj. We'll be back shortly because we've got a couple of more things lined up for you and plenty more to discuss in terms of what we have for you tomorrow. All the action continues in the HBL PSL. Don't go anywhere. Back on pitch side and talking about how good Sikandar Raza has been in this entire HBL PSL. He got the all-important wicket today of Salman Ali Agha because there was a point in the game where it looked like perhaps Islamabad United has developed some kind of a partnership and they might get there. But then the all-important breakthrough by Sikandar Raza obviously meant that that wasn't the case. He's also our turning point of the game.
Yeah, 80 for 1 in 9.3 overs. So just going under 10 after hitting one beautiful shot over extra cover for 6 and decides to york himself. I mean, a bit of an ugly shot in the end. Sikandar Raza, because maybe Salman moved early. Sikandar's seam-up delivery in the block hole, nutmegged. Not ideal. And that was probably, and rightly so, the turning point for them.
Salman Ali Agha, Ruj, coming back obviously after an injury, he's missed a few games and then, but short glimpses of what kind of potential he has. We know we've seen him on the international cricket level, but hasn't really had many opportunities to showcase his talent here.
I think for starters, he's also mentioned this when he got signed up for Islamabad United. He mentioned it sort of fits in with the quality or the kind of player he is. A little bit of freedom. Yes, he's got that touch and class, and we saw him in that red ball scenario when he broke onto the scene for Pakistan. But I think he's really worked on his power game. He's worked on his power game, creates the angles, and the shot that I talk about over extra cover just before that dismissal was a glimpse of that. Even that flick through the leg side mid-wicket, big 6. So those things, and I think for Islamabad United, in amongst all that firepower, for them to go and sort of chase big totals down, he will be one key man to hold one end down, especially on slightly trickier surfaces.
Now we spoke about the fielding lapses that we saw from Islamabad United, but Lahore Qalandars could do absolutely no wrong today. They were brilliant in the field, especially that catch by Tom Curran. It features in our safe hands for today.
Yeah, this is a great catch from Tom Curran. Hyder Ali just sort of chipping the ball down the ground. Curran had to backtrack a wee bit. The presence of mind to understand where he was and the fact that he was heading over the boundary to then just flick it back up nonchalantly and have the presence of mind to just jump back in, take an easy catch on the way back down to see the back of Hyder Ali, because he could have really taken the game away. So yeah, another look at it there. Knew exactly where he was, and a really good effort by Tom Curran in the end.
All right, Lahore Qalandars, of course, have won their game and they're sitting on that number 2 spot on the table. But tomorrow, well, not tomorrow actually, it's today in just a couple of hours time in the afternoon at 2:50 p.m. You've got Multan Sultans and they are up against David Warner's men, Karachi Kings. Don't forget, it's a double header tomorrow, so you'll get to see the home side once again, and that's going to be match number 21 against Quetta Gladiators, who are picking up momentum just at the right time. Thank you so much to Kapi and Aruj. We'll be obviously carrying on all the action tomorrow. I hope you guys are enjoying the coverage because we certainly are. Until next time, it's goodbye.